day she was invited on Dr. Oz, I told her, I said, that's, and she didn't accept because she's very Catholic.
Quiet on set.
Welcome back to Yogaxpress. It's all about moving the body to still the mind. When I hear that background, that music in the background, it literally makes me feel I am in an elevated state right now. Those are supposed to be the leaves rustling on Mount Kailash where Lord Shiva is supposed to be resting. So you have all the sounds of nature, the waterfall. I love that part of the music.
It's beautiful.
We have a bare minimum crew today, but a very efficient crew. So thank you so much, Akram and Nuriel. Thanks so much for seeing us through, for basically seeing us through to the end of the race, right?
Absolutely.
And Corey Bryce as well, our facilitator. Thank you for setting us up in the studio. Great lighting, everything very simple but very effective. So thank you, Corey. Chris Temple. Chris, the last two episodes that you took me through, the moves, second one is a little tougher, the immediate last week. I think there were certain muscle groups that I really need to work on. But it was a great discovery, self-discovery for me as well, because I'm thinking, twists, that's easy. And then I find, no, there are some that look easy. You made it look very easy. So I'm going to have to work on that. I loved it, but you gave a very beautiful explanation and I would love for you to share that with our viewers. Before we move on, if you would like to get in touch with Chris, how can they reach you, Chris, first of all? And then maybe we can go into the
Sure, they can. My website is Chris Temple Yoga, ChrisTempleYoga.com. You can reach me, you can find me on Facebook or Instagram, also Chris Temple Yoga, and then I'm ChrisTempleYoga@gmail.com. Pretty simple.
ChrisTempleYoga@gmail. So that's your email. So they
That's
can
my
get in
email,
touch with
right.
you. So stay in touch with Chris. I think I have not, let me put it this way. How do I form? English is not my first language, so I need to think before I speak.
No worries.
I have come across a lot of teachers, amazing teachers, but very few of them have been able to share it as effectively as Chris has. So I really think it would benefit you a lot to stay in touch with Chris. Keep in touch, check him out. I liked your website too. And Chris also travels a lot. So if you ever need to be in touch with him, maybe have him come teach at your school, wherever. Maybe you have a yoga party. Stay in touch. I know
Yoga party,
that's
I like
becoming
that.
a big,
Yoga party.
It's going to be the thing in New York City now, in Manhattan, because I think people would love that. A yoga group, having a get together.
I just saw yoga. I mean, I some of the things that you see on social media, you don't know if they're real or not.
Right.
But apparently, I did see they have now yoga and wine. So you have 2 glasses of wine while you practice yoga.
Well, get your pint of wellness when you can. Right?
Absolutely. I mean, who am I to say? You know, yoga is many different things for many different
Gives
people.
us a different kind of levitation.
Absolutely. You know, it probably makes your muscles a bit looser.
Yeah, because you really would practice with a lot of abandon, right?
Yes,
It's not just the physical, it's also the mind, right?
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
tells you, I can do this.
Absolutely. Which could be a good thing, but we always have to be careful.
Have to be careful. Chris also travels. You travel a lot. You recently went to Costa Rica. You went to Japan.
Yeah, I've been around the world. I've been very, very blessed with opportunities, both from, just in my own and then from jobs that I've been able to travel just about every and anywhere. I'm
so
always.
your calendar must be pretty full.
It is. Right now, I'm a little bit more New York bound, which is great. I love being around and I love to be grounded, so it's nice to not have to run around. I'm a very Vata dosha, so
Right.
it's good for me to like be in one place for a long period of time because then I can, be a lot more focused.
You mentioned Vata Dosha, which is very interesting because our program, just before I forget, I really need to plug this in. Yoga Express is planning to extend its, extend its feelers into Ayurveda, which is the Indian medical system. Ayurveda is a sister science to yoga practice. And basically, Ayurveda helps you feel better through your diet. So from the inside, yoga does a lot of physical practice, works with the mind through meditation.
Yeah.
It helps you feel good from the inside, but here literally in Ayurveda, you're talking about improving your diet. So stay with us, and I'm sure, the plan, you talked about dosha, and I won't give too much away, but I'm hoping, Chris, because you are so aware of Ayurvedic constitutions, and
Sure.
I'm hoping that you can share with us some tips also when we start the Ayurveda
Yeah, it'd be
program.
great. That
Because
would be
along with the
amazing.
stretching, there's also going to be a lot of information about food. So let's stay together. Let's stay in touch. Website for the Yoga Express program is yogaexpress.com, yogaexpress.com. We're currently airing 7:30 to 8 every Monday morning. When the Ayurveda program takes off, the cooking channel, we're hoping to transition to a cooking channel. More than likely, when do you start making lunch? Maybe 10? So we might air 9:30 to 10. So go make sure that you have little gaps in the day when you can take time off for yourself to improve your own body, your health. So I had to plug that in because I always forget to do that.
Absolutely, yeah.
But in the meantime, stay in touch with people who are multi-talented like Chris. Chris, you were talking last time, you mentioned other than your travels, you also are a bodywork specialist. You
Yeah.
do Thai massage.
Do Thai massage,
Is that
yoga.
can they go to your website to get all
Yeah,
the details?
absolutely. Yeah, I have a studio that I operate myself out of.
Okay.
My girlfriend is into aromatherapy.
Right. Oh,
So
wow.
she's big
Okay.
into that. I do the massage and the yoga, so a
And
lot
where
of
is it?
holistic healing. It's on 35th Street between 7th and 8th.
In Manhattan.
Yeah,
35th
absolutely.
between 7th and 8th. Amazing.
Yes.
I'm going to check it out myself.
Yeah,
That's all
absolutely.
over.
She's I'm Chris Temple Yoga. She's embracesall.com, and yeah, between the two of them,
Is that her website? Embraces all that.
excuse me. But as we find with all of this stuff, it's multidimensional.
Right.
It's not just about the diet, it's also about the body. It's not just about the body and the diet. It's also about using nature's gifts to keep ourselves healthy and, so very many aspects to keep ourselves happy and healthy. So,
So you're truly
little
into
bit
the
of all.
holistic wellness
yeah, well,
route.
I've never been a fan of Western medicine, although it has its place and it's wonderful and it's needed.
Right.
Absolutely. But I have found that I get more in my own life
Right.
out of more of the ancient practices. And then when I need an aspirin or an Advil, of course I'm going to take them. I'm not saying...
You're right though. We do need Western medicine,
Absolutely.
absolutely, but usually it's after the fact, after you have the illness, whereas what we practice in holistic areas, these areas is preventative.
Absolutely.
And that's so important. I mean, hey, think about it. Insurance companies would save a lot of money.
Oh my gosh.
And we absolutely need the doctor, so it should be called alternative. It should be called complementary, right?
Absolutely.
Side by
Keeps
side.
people happier out of the box. When people are happier, they're healthier.
Exactly.
And that's
Yes.
just it, If
So-
you're walking around eating well, taking care of your body, you'll be a
Right.
happier person. You're less likely to get sick when you're feeling like crap about yourself.
That's right. That is so profound. Absolutely. I am ready to get started.
Let's do this. We're actually going to start standing. So,
Okay.
so just standing in a way to keep your feet parallel, hips width apart is usually best. Easier for the balance. And we'll turn the palms slightly forward with the hands by our sides. There's a little lift in the chest. I say superhero the heart. There's a little bit of that superhero quality in the lifting of the chest as well as the breath. We breathe like we're important because we are. And that breath allows us to take up space around us. It also allows us to connect with the elements around us. So maybe just take a moment to identify the feeling of the air on your skin. All right, so we're going to get ready to move, but we'll start a little slower. So let's just take the arms up and over your head, big reaching energy. You can bring the palms to touch or leave the palms apart as you like. And then as you exhale, we're going to just bring the hands out in front of the face, or you can dive down into your forward fold, bend the knees if you need to. And then from here, planting your hands on the ground, we're going to step the right foot back and then lower the back knee down and then untuck the toes. Let's take the arms up by the ears in our low kneeling lunge. Very key to keep weight in both feet. The more weight you keep in the feet, the less discomfort you feel in the back knee. So this is Anjaneyasana, our first crescent lunge. With your exhale, we're just going to take the hands back down to the ground, curl the back toes, lift the back knee, and we're stepping back to our first downward facing dog, a big upside down V shape. Hands are wide apart, wider than the shoulders. Hips are pretty much in line, or heels are pretty much in line with the hips. On our inhale, let's come forward to plank pose, shoulders over the wrist. On the exhale, lower your knees to the ground, lower your chest, right in between your thumbs. This is called Ashtangasana, 8 points of the body on the earth. From here, let's breathe forward into our first cobra pose, drawing the chest forward and the shoulders back. And then exhale, curl the toes back behind you. You can leave the knees down as you press the hips back. We're coming back into downward facing dog. Again, that big upside down V shape. All right, on the inhale, we're going to step the right foot forward. Getting the foot to come forward can be a little more challenging, but do step the toes in line with the fingertips. Lower the back knee down and untuck the toes, and then take your arms up by your ears into that crescent lunge again. Take a breath in, a little joy in the heart, and then exhale, hands down to frame the front foot. Step your back foot forward to the front of the mat. We're back in that forward fold. Drop the chin to the chest. On the inhale, we're going to take the arms up and over the head. So a reverse swan dive, if you will, creating space. And then exhale, take your hands to your heart. So although we move through both sides, we're going to take that on the other leg. So inhale, sweep the arms up and over your head, big stretch. Exhale to dive, forward fold over the legs, taking your time. On the inhale, the left foot this time steps back to the lunge. And then lower the back knee down and untuck the toes. Take the arms up by the ears to your Anjaneyasana, low kneeling lunge. Maybe this time you lean a little further back into the back bend. Taking another breath, exhale, hands down to the ground. And we're stepping all the way back to our downward facing dog. So every time you press back to this shape, it gets a little longer by really rooting your heels down and pressing your butt back. On the next inhale, let's come forward to plank pose. Exhale, the knees lower down, the chest between the thumbs. Feel your elbows graze your sides on the way down. Inhale, come forward onto the pelvis. Keep the back of the neck long. Downward facing dog. Maybe the knees don't press to the ground. Use them if you need to. All right, on the next inhale, left foot's going to step to the front of the mat. Lower the back knee down, untuck the toes, take the arms up by the ears, low kneeling lunge, open the heart again. Maybe you lean a little further back because this is the second side. Take another breath. Exhale, hands to the ground, curl the back toes, lift the back knee, step forward to the front of your mat. Feet about hips width apart, and on the inhale, take your time to reach the arms up over your head, big stretch up, and exhale, hands down to the chest. All right, we're going to take that again. This is called Chandra Namaskar. Inhale. It's great for opening up the heart. Exhale, dive, forward fold over the legs. On the inhale, it's the right foot that steps back. Lower the back knee down, untuck the toes. Sweep the arms up, low kneeling lunge. Lean back with your exhale. Take another breath in. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step all the way back to your downward facing dog. Let's keep this moving, please. Breathe forward to plank pose, shoulders over the wrist. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. This is still a back bend here. On the inhale, we untuck the toes, press the pelvis, lengthen through the heart. On the exhale, curl the toes, lift the hips high and back, downward facing dog. Right foot's gonna step forward between the hands. Lower the back knee, untuck the toes, breathe the arms up. On the exhale, lean back a little bit. Heart shines. Take a breath. Exhale, hands down. Curl the back toes. Lift the knee. Let's step to the front of the mat. Parallel feet when you get there. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Big stretch. Exhale, hands back down to the heart. That looks really nice, Manu. Let's take it again. Inhale, arms up. We're on the second side now. Exhale, diving forward fold. Take a left leg back, way back. Lower the back knee, untuck the toes. On the inhale, arms up. With the exhale, lean back. Take another breath. Exhale, hands down. Step all the way back to downward facing dog. On your inhale, come forward to plank pose. Exhale, lower the knees, lower the chest right between the thumbs. Slide forward and through, cobra pose. Maybe a little higher this time. Exhale, pressing back. Downward facing dog. On the inhale, left foot steps forward. Exhale, lower the back knee down, untuck the toes. Breathe the arms up. And then exhale, one more breath, inhale, exhale, hands down, curl back toes, lift the back knee, step forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, arms up, like you're scooping up water, exhale, dive, bringing the hands down to the heart. We're gonna take that one more time. Now it's like a moving meditation because we have the actions. Inhale, arms up, exhale, dive, forward fold. Nice. I can hear the breath. Right foot steps back. Lower the back knee. Untuck the toes. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, lean back. Take another inhale. Exhale, hands down. Stepping all the way back to downward facing dog. Press the booty back. On your inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the earth. Sliding forward and through cobra pose. And exhale, pressing all the way back. Downward facing dog. Use the breath in a step your right foot forward. Exhale, back knee down. Take the arms up to the sky. Big stretch. Exhale, leaning back. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step your back foot forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, arms to the sky. Big stretch up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Last side. This is going beautifully. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, dive, forward fold. Take your left foot back to the lunge. Lower the back knee, untuck the toes, sweep the arms up like you're scooping up water. And then exhale, we'll go right back into our downward facing dog. Inhaling, coming forward to plank pose. Exhaling to lower down. Nice. Slide forward and through cobra. Exhale, pressing all the way back. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, stepping it forward, lower the back knee down, take the arms up, and then exhale, hands down. Step together at the front of the mat. Take a breath in, sweep the arms up and over your head. Exhale, hands to the heart. Close your eyes for a second if you can. You can take your hands by your sides. And then just feel your breath, right? The heart's asking for lots of oxygen. Of course it is. We've just moved around a lot. But you want to breathe the breath in nice and slow, and that calms the body down. We've just created a lot of space in your heart, in your shoulders, in your legs. So we want to breathe into the space that you've just created. All right, we're going to move this into a couple of balances. So from here, bring the weight into the left leg to start. And just start by lifting onto the ball of your right foot with the knee turning forward. Now, we're all at a different level of balance, so you might just turn the knee off to the side, and maybe that's enough to keep the heel onto the inner ankle. If you think you might want to try to go a little higher on that, I'll lift the foot off and bring it to my calf, the knee's opening to the side wall, and maybe we'll bring the hands to the heart here. You can bring your hands on your hips, that's great too. Now again, this could be a stopping point, or if you're really feeling bold, you'll lift that foot to the inner thigh, placing the foot, pressing it against your inner thigh, and the same pressure of my foot to the inner thigh is the same pressure of my hands together. And breathing here. Smooth, steady breaths. So balance is a constant movement. We have these little micro-managed firing off of muscles that helps to keep us on point here. You let that happen and breathe into it. Maybe you take your arms up to the sky, reaching your fingers out like branches. Take another breath. Try to look in one place. Don't let the eyes dart all around. And then take your hands back to your heart. Take the knee forward again. And then we'll just step the feet together. Maybe you shake off this leg that was just standing on the ground if you need a little blood flow in there, right? Okay, great. Now let's take the other side. So we're standing up nice and tall in center. And then from there, we're just gonna lift the right leg, or the left leg's coming up this time. And then again, you might keep it low, bringing the heel onto the ankle, or foot to the calf. Or if you're feeling very sturdy with your balance, I'm using my hand to help my foot onto the inner thigh. Whatever you choose, make sure that the breath is taking you there. Don't stop breathing to get where you're going. Now I'm gazing off at one specific point because it's quieting my mind and it's helping me really to focus on what I'm doing right now, which is finding ease of the balance and the breath. Now from there, we might grow our branches. Yeah, if you come out of it, that's okay. Just get back into it. Good thing about it, and just breathing here. We'll take one more breath, filling the space. And then take your hands to your heart if you can. Take the knee forward one more time. Step your feet together, shake out that right leg. All right, feet together. Take your hands up and over your head. Big stretch at the top. Exhale, dive forward, fold over your legs. Take a halfway lift, lengthen through the chest. We're just gonna step back to plank and then lower onto hands and knees. Now we're coming to standing knees. Now I'm gonna give my profile to my friends at home, and you could stay just like you are. And I might curl the toes back behind me because this is gonna bring my heels a little closer towards my hands. I'm bringing my little spring cleaning there. Thank you so much. So I'm bringing my hands to the lower back. You might face the fingertips up. I'll tell you why, because if I face the fingertips down, you'll see how my shoulder comes forward. If I can take it back, the shoulder gets back. Again, that may be too much on your wrists, and that's okay. So fingertips up if you can, fingertips down if you cannot. From there, I imagine that someone is pulling my heart to the sky by a rope, and I'm lifting, lifting, lifting up. Now, as my hands are pressing into my hips, they're also maintaining to make sure that my butt does not clench up, because we don't want that to happen. You want to try to relax the seat at least a little bit. Now, over the next couple breaths, I'll start to look further back on the ceiling to come into a slightly deeper back bend or a very deeper back bend. And if you have the space only, you might take your hands down towards your heels. Now, I still want the heart to lift, and I still want to press my hips forward. So we'll take 2 more breaths here. This is called camel pose, Ustrasana. All right, one more time, and then slowly, it's best to help the lower back with the hands. Come all the way back up. And I'm gonna turn my knees forward. We'll sit back on the heels. Turn your palms to face up on the thighs. Maybe bring the chin towards the chest to feel the stretch ripple up through the back of the neck. All right, and then let's have a seat. Now we're gonna counter that back bend with a nice forward fold. So both legs out in front of us. Yeah, nice long spine here. Big toe mounds touch with the heels slightly apart. We'll inhale, we'll take the arms up high to the sky. And then exhale, lengthen yourself towards the legs, reaching, reaching, reaching out. If you can hold on to the feet, that's fine. If you can, ankles are great. You might even put the hands to the ground. I think not holding on to the legs for some people is harder than holding on to them, because we want that idea that we're pulling ourselves forward. But to not do it, then we start to engage muscles that we didn't even know we had. So I want to imagine that my heart, once again, is being pulled this time towards the big toes. And as I do that, I want to keep the shoulders back from the ears. So take a breath in here. This is called Paschimottanasana, which is our Western-facing pose. Taking another breath in, drawing the chest long, and then exhale to melt yourself down. Every time you breathe in, it's an opportunity for the spine to find a little bit more length. And every time you breathe out, it's an opportunity for you to go a little bit deeper into your forward fold. We'll take that 2 more times if you'd please. Deep breath. Making sure to really emphasize the exhale to go a little bit deeper. And then 1 more time, please. Deep inhale. And exhale it out. Awesome. Let's come on up nice and slowly. bending the knees, placing the soles of the feet onto the ground. No, please don't be mad at me. Take your hands underneath your knee creases. And we're going to take the feet up, lifting the shins. Well, I don't like to say abs, but core work, right? The truth of the matter is the more functional we are in the core, then it takes a lot of the workload off the rest of the body. So a lot of my friends with hip problems, knee problems, shoulder problems, if we keep the core in check, the rest of the body keeps nice and happy. So I've been talking way too long. Let's maybe take the hands off of the knees and turn your palms forward. And we'll breathe here. You're shaking a little bit. We call that the holy shake. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Deep in. Exhale it long. One more time. Deep breath in. All right. Take the soles of the feet together, knees open wide like a book. This isn't even a pose. It is, but we're just going to bow down. Give your belly a little break. Great. All right. Now come on up nice and slowly. Roll down onto your back. You want to turn around? And then I'm going to hug my knees into the chest and drop my knees over towards the right. Good to finish up with a little twist. So you can keep your legs together. I'm stacking up my ankles, my knees, and my hips. And then I'll look over my left shoulder. If you have space in your apartment or in your house, you can reach that left hand out to the side, right off of the shoulders. And here too, just focusing on these exhales. We'll take that knees through the center. These are easy twists. We're not going super deep. And just dropping them off to the other side. So again, focusing on the exhales, making sure that the breath out just lets you relax heavy into the ground. Feels so good. One more breath, yeah. All right, and I think that will do us for today. You can rock up to a seat, or if you have time, stay lying on your back. Maybe check out while we say our goodbyes here.
Yeah, I could. That's right. I could stay lying down all day.
Tell me about it, right?
Well, that's a great thing about getting a nice, gentle but intense workout.
Yeah.
Because the rest afterwards feels so well deserved.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just wanna lie
absolutely.
down.
Well, I always tell people, if you lie in Shavasana, your mind's moving too fast. It's hard to relax. So one of the benefits of doing yoga, it's a very peaceful way to invigorate the body, right? If you look at it, it looks so easy, but to do it, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then you can really, really relax at the end.
That's great. Stay with us. Keep watching Yogaxpress 7:30 to 8 a.m. every Monday. Chris Temple of ChrisTempleYoga.com. Check him out. Stay in touch with Chris. He's going to be back, hopefully, when we start the transition into the Ayurveda series as well.
That would be wonderful.
So
Thanks
that
so
would be
much,
great.
Manu. Really, really
Thank
appreciate it.
you so much for
Thanks, guys in the back, for helping us out. Amazing crew.
That's right. Thank you, Akram and Nuriel and Corey. Especially Akram and Nuriel, thank you so much for staying with us
Thank you.
to the last minute. Appreciate it. Namaste. That feels good. Actually, I'm wondering how Namaste came about. I know it's supposed to be respect.
Sure.
But how is it people here, especially in New York, are so comfortable saying that you don't think about it as a cultural thing, which is really great.
Right.
Because you're thinking of the...
Yeah.
Actually, while we have a few seconds as we're rolling, I don't know if we're still on, but it would be great if you can just share what is your perspective on...
Well, namaste, to my understanding, literally the translation means same name, like at its root. Okay. We are named the same. Now, it got expanded to the light in me...